If you're watching this, there's a pretty good chance that you're in the market for hires. But what are you really doing to achieve the end goal of getting the top tier talent that you're after? Are you just sticking to the old-fashioned spray and pray method where you just get in front of as many people as possible? Or are you more targeted and precise with who you're pursuing with your messaging? Perhaps even more important than how you're approaching your targeting is how you approach the overall process. Because even if you are able to find and hire who you're after right now, there will come a time when you'll be back out there looking for more hires. So it's critical for the ongoing and future success of your company that you don't just look for a resume that fits your criteria. You need to go beyond that. You need to create a positive candidate experience. Hello everybody and welcome to the Recruiting Roundup. For Randall Reilly, I'm Joshua Miller. We're back here every month with another recruiting or talent acquisition topic. Now, we've already covered a whole slew of recruiting topics on the show, so if you're new to the channel, be sure to go back and check them out. And of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Now let's dive back into the topic for today, creating that positive candidate experience. Why should you even be focused on the experience of a candidate or spending your time and energy on perfecting your hiring process instead of just making the hire you need and moving on? Well, if I had to put it in a nutshell...
Help! I'm in a nutshell! How did I get into this nutshell?
It would come down to this. The experience itself matters. Not only can providing a positive application and hiring process get you more and higher quality hires, but it can help you build up that employer brand, which will ultimately also ease the burden over time. You see, when people have a positive experience with you and your company is a great place to work, people will want to work for you. Shocker, I know. But is there data to back this up?
Yup!
Negative experiences led to 26% of job seekers to decline job offers in 2024. Now contrast that with the fact that 66% of candidates reported that a positive experience had an impact on them deciding to accept a job offer. Let's dig into this a little deeper, and we see that only 1 in 4 are satisfied with the talent acquisition process. And it gets even worse. 13% have reported having such a bad experience that they would be much less likely to apply to the company again. Now, if you handicap yourself by automatically, right off the top, missing out on 13% of your potential hires, well, you're going to have a really hard time getting the quality hires you need. So that's a lot of numbers backing up the idea that you should most definitely care about your candidate's hiring experience. But it's not enough to know that there's a problem. You need solutions. So what can you do about it?
So glad you asked.
To start off, only about half of the companies out there have made any effort to improve their candidate experience this last year, which means if you do anything at all to try to get better, you're already better than half of the companies, which is nice. But what can you do to improve the experience? An overwhelming amount of applicants want transparency, specifically with pay. When researching a company, which over half of the job applicants say they do before applying, 74% of them say they want salary information. Another 70% are looking for more details on the benefits. And nearly half of job seekers, 49%, think that job applications are just too long and complicated. 33% say they just straight up abandon applying if they find a process confusing, repetitive, or just too hard. So, right off the bat, if you can do anything to simplify the actual application, by eliminating any repetitive bits or getting rid of any excess stuff that you don't really need, you're not only going to make it easier to complete, but you're going to make it more likely that candidates will finish filling it out. Make your pay and benefits for any open positions available and easy to find. And I know there's some of you watching right now that you just don't really like to post that stuff, but at this point, people expect it. And if you try to hide it or hold out on providing it, they're probably just going to move on. Or at the very least, they're going to begin the application process with a pretty bad taste in their mouth. Another key thing to focus in on is your speed. For one, you're most likely not the only player in the game. You've got competition, so the longer you take to engage or follow up with a candidate, the more time you allow for your competitors to swoop in. Beyond that, no one wants to sit around waiting for answers. Candidates value swift responses and they hate the slow pace of the typical recruitment process. If you go and tweak just a few things about your process, like improving that speed, simplifying your applications, and making your pay and benefit info available, you're gonna improve the overall experience, which, as I mentioned earlier, doesn't just help get you the particular hire you're after at that moment, but it'll also help build up employer brand, which will in turn help you get future hires. And companies with a positive candidate experience, 3 times more likely to improve retention. What's not to like? Obviously, these are only a few suggestions, and hey, maybe you're not able to simplify your app process any more than you already have. Or for whatever reason, you're just dead set against being upfront with your pay and benefit details. Well, that's okay. There's plenty of other areas to focus on. Remember, only half of the companies are doing anything to improve the candidate experience. So every little bit you can do will help. And speaking of help, if you want to get started but you're not quite sure where to begin, we can help. Reach out to us with the contact link included down below. We can work with you to improve your processes and help get you the hires you need. We also have an RPO team that can scale up or down and be as involved as much or as little as you want with your hiring process. If you'd like more info on that, I've included a link for that down there as well. That's just about going to do it for us here on this episode of the Recruiting Roundup. We'll be back next month with another brand new recruiting or talent acquisition topic. Until then, thanks for watching.